We're back for part 2 of this series in which I write my new YA novel. And in the first part, I'm going to put it all in the same playlist so it's easy to follow if anyone wants to start from the beginning. But in the first part, I wrote my new YA book in just a few weeks because I had the deadline moved up and I only had 5 weeks to write it all of a sudden. But I did it and I got there. And now it's time to edit that, and a lot of you wanted to see how that process worked, so that's what we're going to do. Similarly to last time, anytime I sit down to work on the book, I'll just do one of these kind of daily vlogs. So at this part in the process, I have written the first draft, I've sent it off to my editor, they've had a chance to read it, go through it, and then they send me an edit letter, and that's basically where they sent me a couple of pages of a Word document where they've written down all of their thoughts and their feedback. It's sectioned out onto like character arcs or certain plot lines or themes in the book, things like that. And most, my 14th book comes out this summer. I'm pretty familiar with the sort of pitfalls that I have in my first drafts. I know that they're going to be there. And I feel like I have a pretty good working relationship with my editors, so nothing in the edit letter is like a horrible surprise. I know that they have good ideas and it's a collaborative experience. So the good thing is that the first draft is in pretty good shape, and all of the ideas that my editor had, I was really happy about. But we did jump on a call after I had the edit letter through just to kind of brainstorm a little bit. I've gone through and highlighted. I can't show you the document because it's obviously got like a shit ton of spoilers and stuff like that about the book, but I've gone through and highlighted all the stuff that I really want to focus on in this next draft, and made notes of my own. So we talked those through just to make sure we're on the same page before I dive in. And when I do, I'm going to kind of work through the book chronologically and just go chapter by chapter, working through start to end with that document of the edit letter with my annotations next to it, so that as I'm going through, I can kind of pull through and add stuff in or change things as I need to. Hopefully that's explained a bit about what this part of the process is like though and what it involves. And I'm not feeling too great today, so I think I'm only going to do a couple of hours and then we'll put it away until tomorrow. But it will be a start, and that's the main thing, because starting things like this is just a hurdle. And like first draft for me, they're pure unadulterated fun. Editing is like actual hard work. So I'm just going to get started, and that's the worst part out of the way. It is Monday the 13th of May, it is 12 o'clock in the afternoon, and let's pick a playlist and get started. Before I do dive in, actually, I need another cup of tea, and I'm going to read back through the edit letter and jot down some of the main points, mostly the stuff I've highlighted, in a notebook so I can have that open as well. Because that's what works for me. I need lots of visual cues around, I guess. It's 4:30, I'm up to chapter 6, and I'm going to call it a day there. I'm happy with the progress that I've made today. Because of the way that I do my first drafts, and I tend to just like write and get it all out on the page and figure the story out as I go along, a lot of the second draft editing tends to be more heavy in the first third of the book, because with the first draft, by the time I've got to the end, I've figured out what the character arcs are and kind of how to tie things up. And often things have come out in the story as I go along that I'm like, okay, I guess this is what's happening, that I need to lay a bit more groundwork for at the start. So that has been the case here, but I feel like we're on track and things are going well. So good stuff so far for day 1, and come back tomorrow when I will be sitting down for day 2 of working on the second draft of this book.